Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome back to some more Warframes Online. Now, today we're going to have a quick look at Nyx. I mean, I'm only low rank at the moment. It's more just a discussion about reviewing weapons and basically testing things out and just sort of general information, really. But the first thing is, a lot of people have been commenting on saying that when I test the weapons, that there's no point picking a level between 5 and 10. And then testing the level out, and then one-shotting them. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you do a 39 to 55 or a rank 1 to 2. When you get to weapons of this sort of rank, it makes no difference. You're going to one-shot pretty much everything. 98% of the time, it's a one-shot kill. So it doesn't matter. Now, the second thing is, where do you draw the line on when you're testing a weapon? I mean, what you've got to think of is when you go and watch these other people playing Warframes and he's testing these weapons out and this guy goes, it's fantastic, it's the best weapon in the game. Now, what you've got to look at is what rank the weapon is. Now, I think this is still one of the issues with Warframes. Is something they need, they just need to define it in a way that makes it easier for us to communicate what rank actually means. Because at the moment, rank 30 means absolutely nothing. Because I'll give you an example. If a guy said he's got a rank 30 weapon, right? Do you make the assumption, yeah, great weapon. And if I turn around and said, actually my weapon's rank 2, right? So, theoretically you make the assumption that the rank 30 is actually going to be more powerful than the rank 2. Well, what happens if the guy who's got the rank 2 is actually polarized 5 times and he's on a polarity cycle? And the other guy hasn't polarized once. So that's what I'm getting at. They need to put something in to define what is rank. What does it actually mean now? I mean, obviously, rank 0 to 30 meant something before polarity, before they brought the polarization into effect. Well, now that's come into effect, it's made it very complicated to tell, clan members what weapon you are. So I'll give you an example. If we go into a high defend and we have the conversation, what weapons we've got in TeamSpeak, we could spend, I'm not joking, 10 to 15 minutes just discussing what we're bloody carrying. So in my case, what I would say, I would have to go, I've got the Latron Prime. It's polarized X amount, 6 times. I would have to go through all the bloody cards, tell them what I've got, tell them I've got Stration at 150, blah, 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 go through the whole lot. Now, even though I've told them that, what does it actually mean? It doesn't actually really mean anything. Now, I don't know what everyone else thinks, it'd be nice to actually have what damage the gun is doing with them cards equipped. I can see it's doing 45 now, but if it's doing 90% chance of multi-shot, well, you could be doing, 90, could be, 90, 90% of the time. Your damage is going to be physically higher based on the fire damage cards, yeah? Then Serration, which is the damage card, yeah, which increases the damage, would increase the damage of the gun. So, and then also you've got an add-in element on there as well, which is critical chance, which is the critical chance is going to be increased. So it's almost like you would want them to have them stats and just to say, look, yeah, my damage is 255 with multi-shot. Critical chance is X amount. Blah, 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 fire rate is this, accuracy is this, and the clip size is this. Do you see what I'm getting at? It's like, it's that bit it's actually missing. It's very hard to, how do you translate it? What does it actually mean? Unless you want to go away and get a calculator and actually work all this out, which I don't think you need to. I think the information needs to be here because it's a pain in the ass. Every time you actually want to go and, go into a big match, you have to have that conversation. And it's very much also like your Warframe. I mean, your Warframe gets to 30, but a rank 30 Warframe these days means nothing. I mean, it's more about, how many times you polarized, or not necessarily how many times you polarized, what cards you've got equipped. So, I think it's fair to say, now, this is what I think. I think there's different ways you can actually test, correctly test a weapon in Warframe. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can test it first of all. I don't know what you guys think, but I think, oh, we're going into a game. That's good news. I've been waiting for this one for ages. You can either do it a few ways. You can go into the basis that you go for a rank 30 frame with only ability cards. I know what you're thinking, what do you mean only ability cards? But that's the only way really you can do it fairly. Now, I think with the weapon, you can, if you want to do a rank 30 test, you've got to take all the cards off. Because people are not necessarily going to have the same cards as you. Does that sort of make sense? And I think it's the same as well with the actual physical weapons. You know, you're either going to test it rank 30, or you're going to test it with maxed out cards. And that sounds insane, but you've got to max out Serration as well. You've got to do a fair test where, you know, you're testing on the basis that, you know, everything's maxed out. Otherwise, someone would have to get like for like cards to have the same experience as you. So, I don't know really. I think that's more that I think it's a weakness in Warframes. I mean, I'm sure they're going to do something. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's just not right, is it? So, now, the good thing about, actually, I must admit, one thing I have enjoyed about the old Latron Prime is the sheer damage it does. It's ridiculous. Well, we do a bit of chaos. Now, this is the main reason actually I wanted to do this mission, actually, just to talk about Nyx, actually, at the same time, because, do you know what? I was saying a little while ago, do you know, to the clan members, you know, to be a use in the clan, you know, it's what's actually a good thing if someone focuses on a frame. Now, I think that is fair to say. It's good if you focus on a frame, but at the same time, I think if you want to focus on a frame and you're doing infestation, the focus doesn't actually have to be there. I know it sounds a bit odd, but I'll give you an example. I haven't got any health or any armor cards equipped at the moment, right? And I believe that I'm still capable of getting wave 50 because infestation are not shooting me. I do not need shields. I do not need health. You know, I'm not going to be going in, you know, with me bloody my sword because I'm here for my ability, which it's a decoy, really. I mean, it's called Chaos, but as you can see, it just holds them there, which gives you plenty of time. And I think in these infestations, what you need is time. You know, you need time to kill them. You need time to rejuvenate your health. And what I mean by that is, a good scenario would be, for instance, Nyx, Vauban, maybe like Vault, and definitely Trinity. Definitely. And what you could do, stand on these boxes. Nyx could deploy his Chaos or Decoy, whatever you want to call it. Trinity could then cast her energy regain onto the enemies, so everyone can regain their energy. And then Vauban, when it gets out of control, can do the Vortex. And I'll tell you what, when you get to high waves and you try Vortex out, oh my god, I'll give an example. I cast Chaos, and then once Chaos is cast, they sort of attract to each other. So you might get about 10-15 all clustered together. Take a couple of these 1 minute, I'm chatting away. And they're all clustered together. Well, that's actually a really good thing because obviously the Vortex relies on proximity. It relies on the basis that enemies, you know, enemies need to be in the proximity. Oh, that was a bit of a waste, but chatting away, I wouldn't really pay much attention, but needs to be in like proximity. So Chaos, what it does is it does attract all the enemies into that sort of cluster, and when it's actually casted, then it's twice as effective because what you're actually doing is you're killing a lot more in one go. Now we're doing fine here. I think in these sort of lower waves anyway. I mean, this is just a sort of a bit of a, I don't know, I won't call it a rant, but you know, just a bit of general just discussion really of, you know, how to actually to get an understanding of, you know, committing to a Warframe and committing to a weapon. I had the conversation before, you know, trying to clarify it, but there is times when actually you don't even need to polarize, like in this scenario. I mean, don't forget, I mean, what's my ranks now? I mean, I'm only low rank. He's only something like 14, 15 years. I mean, when he's maximum rank, he's going to have a little bit more power. And then once he's got that, I will bound equip all 5 power cards. So, you know, I shouldn't have any issue at all. Should be absolutely fine. Do I need to polarize? Well, if I wanted to start maxing out these cards, maybe I did. Maybe I did. Maybe maybe I should do that. But I think, for the purpose of actually infestations, you can actually use frames without these health cards. You don't need to polarize as much. I think when you go more onto the actual corpus side, obviously it's a totally different story because they've actually got guns, and if they start shooting me now, I'm not going to last very long with 200. Do an old one of these as well, as I can. A couple more inbound, a couple more dogs. Ooh. Now you can see the critical chances and the physical damage of the gun, the Latron. I'm saying that it's doing around about 250. I've done anything up to 250 to 400 on one shot, which is ridiculous. I know I have got a lot of cards on there and Serration's nearly maxed out, but and I'm actually looking forward to, once I've done Serration on maxed out, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to start doing some more previews of other weapons that you've probably already seen videos for in the past, but just revisiting them so you can actually see what they're actually like with maximum Serration and maximum damage. Take out some of these the problem ones first of all. There we go. You do get depreciation over range, but a couple with multi-shot, not a problem. Now, what I have noticed, well, I'm sure you all have as well, I've noticed that from the last update, there's definitely been an increased drop rate of the cores and cards, which is great. So, anyway. Move back up here. I actually quite like the look of Nyx as well. It looks like quite a nice frame. I like that sort of... I was actually going to get the helm, but when I looked at the traits of the helm, I'm probably actually going to exit here. We'll go one more. Let's do it again. Now, like I said, the difference between, you've got sort of two different infestations you can do. I think really you got IO, which is like low rank, and then you got this one, which I think this is Exodus. Now the difference being is obviously it's going to in the second wave it obviously gets a lot harder than it was obviously in the first wave. But the biggest difference for me, what I found, is obviously if you're doing the lower waves, the incentive is not as good. Is he dead? No, he's not. What I'm going to do is just get in range here so I can... 75% was what I found. Quite a high percentage have actually come from this side. I'll move back over this side. Got to be careful obviously because I have very, very low HP. So like I said, the incentive is always going to be better here. You're more than likely going to get something like an Extermination 3. And that's the other thing I've found as well. The actual cards you're actually finding in the game. Tower Raid 2s. Extermination 2s. I'm just collecting them. I still don't really see the point of them at the moment. The thing is, once you've actually got all the blueprints for the weapons, there's no real point in actually playing them, because the incentive is only like 20k really, and most of the time you don't tend to find that much good stuff. But if you're doing something like an Extermination 3, you're going to get 70,000 at the end of the round. It's sort of worth it. So we're going to do a run around, pick up a few cores. We can find, chatting away really, not really focusing on the game here guys, should be ready. I actually thought, I'm going to try it out. I mean, now I've got that Serration card up to 140, I might move it onto my Death Cube. Even though the Death Cube kills don't actually count, It might be worthwhile doing. Back over this side now. Now the way this actually works, this chaos, when it actually projects it, when the last enemy's dead, I think that the enemy disappears so that the chaos is gone. Sort of, you know, you study it a little bit, you cast it, and you just take time to have a look at it. Now, is there such thing as a good and bad cast? There is actually. It's actually, it's between successful and failure in some of the defense. And what I mean by that is, if you put the chaos too close to the core, you can cause yourself a problem. You're better off. I think power range and power max and the actual range ones are probably going to be quite important, because I'd rather have chaos sort of over there than I would down here, because then once they're dead, you know, I could got a chance to cast again, but be closer. But if that happens here and they move towards the core, you know, you just put yourself in a harder situation. I'm still trying to work out if you actually aim the pointer, does it actually make any difference? It's really hard to tell. Gonna put a bit of chaos around this side. It's always going to be the side where the most of them come from. There's not many that come from this side. This is what I found anyway. Probably about 25%, like I said. The bigger threat on these ones is actually the dogs, believe it or not. The dogs are not. The ancient's obviously a threat, but the chaos down. Must admit, and the other thing is, I guess you all noticed they've obviously changed the sound of the Latron, because I think a few people complained about that, I don't know what you called it, beeping noise it sort of made. I like it. I mean, I like it. It's great. I mean, that's it. The other thing I was actually going to talk about, actually I nearly forgot about actually, was sniper rifles, right? My favourite weapon in most games has always been the sniper rifle. But it's not in this game. Because I always relied on, with a sniper rifle, the sniper scope, and I always liked the fact that I could zoom in from a long range without being seen by the enemy and take out the target, you know, in one shot. Now, but I've got what people call assault rifle. You could call it a shotgun, you could call it a sniper rifle in this game, because I know what you're thinking, but you know, it works from long range. The zooms, there's not really much difference between the zoom between this and the Snipertron. It's not massive. It's not like whoa. And that's the problem, I think. It's not actually a scope. You know, it's not actually a sniper scope. So I'm not really seeing the benefit from having this, you know, over. Kill these guys. Don't worry about these ones. I'll get them ones. Now you actually get damage actually for that as well, what I've found. Couple more inbound. Nice call there. Oh. It's actually risky for me to actually get off my platform because obviously my health is so low. But like I said, I'm not really fearing the snipers because they don't betray a sniper rifle, what I think of a sniper rifle. What's the difference? If you closed your eyes, what's the difference between this and the bloody sniper rifle? There's not really much in it, really, apart from a bit more damage. and a tiddy bit more zoom. Let's get back in my little seat. I picked this up as well, the sword as well. Just ranking up in the moment. Oh, it's growing on me. I sort of like it. Don't know if I'm going to commit to it yet. I like the look of it. Just don't know if I like the fire rate yet. I'll get it up to 30 and then see how it goes. A bit of chaos around here. Probably that was a bit of a bad car. I was alright. Some over there. Better do, because it's going to cause a problem. Take some of them out now. I'm having a bit of a fight down there. A bit of chaos over there, maybe. This is where I see my roll is. If I can get it out, I can't, because unfortunately it's already casted, so that's a bit of a shame. Take out these guys. Great gun. I can't wait until, I get this, the Serration maxed out. But this means sort of nothing really. You know what I mean? It means nothing really, because once you start getting to, like I said, once you start getting to the high waves, the gun becomes crap. I think that's the best way to word it. Once they get higher rank, you know, they get extremely hard to kill. Understatement of the year. Your gun... Yep, taking that. Yes, 70,000. That's what you want. That's the good way to finish this one, guys. 70 grand key. Now, that's 70 grand, but if you've got one each, guys, that's 4 times 70 if they're all your clan members, which I think they all are. I think they all joined.
That's the last of them. Objective secure. Let's go home.
They aren't rank up there. Like, not a massive amount of XP there, actually. You know, you're probably going to get more XP from doing something like Kappa. I still can't find anything that beats Kappa yet, but I'm going to have to exit out of this one anyway. I need these guys to it. So, you know, just a quick look at Nyx. I mean, what I plan to do is once I get you maxed out, I'd rather show you... I know that going back to what I said earlier about rank and about weapons and about how to actually do the videos, I'd rather show you one ability maxed out, you know, pretty much at its full strength, than 4 that are not even at their maximum strength. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, you know, plod on. What's the next one I'm actually going to whack out here? I found some new cards actually. I found this poison resistance. I've got the laser fire. I've pretty much got all the protection. I even found this stupid thing. Wall run, 10% less stamina use. I mean, that's appealing, but they've got to add something where the only way you can get to it is by having that extra 10%, like a secret area or something like that. That's the only thing I can think of what's going to be worthwhile. And the next card I'm probably going to whack out, let's have a look, probably going to be, there in the end. No, I think it's actually on the other frame. It's on Vault, I think. Yeah, I'm just going to keep putting out the power cards. Like I said, I don't really need the health at the moment. And then I'm probably going to actually equip this other move as well and try this as well. Try this one out and see how I get on with this. Max this card out. So I'll probably end up having 2 abilities and 5 power cards, and that's probably all I'm going to get in there. But you know, if you know your position and you know where you're going to be standing, you know you're not who's going to health. That's sort of irrelevant. It doesn't really matter about these ones. But I think, you know, once we get to some more higher waves, and I've tested this theory out, and one of the reasons actually, once you get that frame like I've done with Vault, I've maxed him out, you know, polarized all the cards, done all that. Once you get to that point, I've now realised that 80% of the time when I want to do a defend, the problem is we don't have a Nyx. And if you haven't got a Nyx, it's almost like game over. It's like, how are we going to hold them back? We can't, you know, you need something to slow them down. If you can't do that, then you've got an issue. And it's the same with Trinity. We've got a few Trinities now, so people are stepping up to that one. I'm glad about that. And the people who have got Trinity that have done the you know, the defends, have started to realise actually Trinity's a pretty, you know, brilliant frame, amazing frame, in fact, you know, because when you get to them high defends, you could cast the energy regain on one of the bigger enemies, one of the ancients, and the ancient would take me probably 2 clips to kill him at a high wave with the Latron, believe it or not. So that means that he could cast his ability, I could shoot it 3 times, and I'll have maximum power left, maximum power back. That just set me up for the next round, you know what I mean? So that, you know, I'm learning more as I go along. I mean, each day, I mean, I think I learn more, you know, I'm learning, because now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to these high waves and trying to organise the clan and the team so we can get to the high wave. And when we get to rank, you know, when we get to a certain wave, you know, I come away from that wave and saying, look, you know, guys, what didn't we have there? What was the issue? Did we had loads of energy, but we just couldn't kill them. You know, and you make all these conclusions when you get to the wave, you know, higher waves, and you say, okay, so you got to that point, we couldn't kill them, you know, so what we need is maybe we swap that frame out with this one, okay, maybe we swap our weapons, you know, long way off yet from getting to where I want to be, but heading down the right route and learning a lot more about the frames. So anyway, just a quick video today, a bit of gameplay and a bit of a chat away, really, just a bit of a catch up. We've had quite a few people now join the clan, and we can have a quick run around the dojo, actually. Should we have a quick look? I've got all these stupid bloody keys at the moment. These things are just ridiculous. We could sell them, to be honest. Gonna have a quick look. Now, we've done quite a lot, actually, a hell of a lot in here, really. I mean, a hell of a lot, but still nothing that each one of us can build, if you know what I mean. There's so much you've got to build before you can actually, you know, even start anything, really. So we got resource. You need the resource labs to actually build anything. So we've got the resource lab there now. I think I've built. Let me just check this. This is another T piece. I've left space there for another resource lab. I'm sort of trying to do it so it's organised. Down this side, I have. That is the first power plant. I've built another one over here, which is going to be ready soon. And then once that power plant's done, we've got, that's a bio lab, the first one we've ever going to have, and finally another T piece. It's, you know, it's getting there. I just want to build the structure right to start with, really. You know, get it all right. We're getting there. I think the more members we get, it is getting easier to actually, you know, build stuff and get things done. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to be doing hopefully another video. What I want to do is actually do another video once Nyx is maxed out, and I'll put all the maximum power abilities on there and the powers, and then we'll give it a real good dry run, and then, you know, I'll probably have I'm hoping that some of the other moves there will be high damage moves, or a move that could, you know, eliminate a lot of targets. But we'll see how it goes anyway. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.